performance, incredible result. Abera, if we can start with you, it turns out you really enjoy the North London derby. I remember you had a feeling before the first game. Did you again today?
To be fair, I always have that feeling whenever I play. But yeah, today it's worked out. We thank God for it. We put in a good performance. We done what we needed to do today, which was the main thing.
Victor, huge contribution from you as well. Maybe your best performance in the red shirt?
Yeah, in some aspects I think it was a good one. Then in some other I think I could have done a few bits better. But yeah, it was a tough game. But I think we showed much better things on the pitch today.
Was part of that, Abere, was it a huge response from the team?
Yeah, for sure. That's the main thing. We know what we're capable of. We know what we can do. We have to play games to dominate and to win, and we've got the players in the team to do it. So again, an important win for us, important performance, and we keep going.
Just talk us through your celebrations. You really enjoyed your goals, as you should, but got a few friends who are Spurs fans maybe, or they've given you a bit of grief, I think is more likely.
Yeah, quite a lot, but that's football, that's part of the game, and it's understandable, I think, but I'll keep doing what I'm doing and keep pushing.
Just tell us about the finishes. Both of them, I suppose, in some ways, pretty simple, but you need to just keep cool, right?
Probably not simple.
Sorry for the insult.
Yeah, but I'm always trying to get in those types of positions to be ready and to find the space and to work hard to get those opportunities. So it takes a lot to get there. And yeah, it's worked out today.
And how big a part did this guy play in the second goal? It was a lovely little 1-2, and then you released Bukayo, of course, and then it broke back to you.
Yeah, Vic was doing that all game. I think you can see the work ethic, you can see how much he helps the team, not just with his goals, but with the effort that he puts in and puts players like me in good positions, and it helps a lot. And he's got his 2 goals today, which he deserves for sure.
Yeah, Victor, particularly wanted to ask you about the first goal, an absolute thunderbolt. Did it come at a really key moment for the team as well? Because it's 1-1 at that point, and you must have talked about it at half-time. It shouldn't have been.
Yeah, I think we do that a few times in training, I think, and then obviously I watch his goals against these last game. So yeah, try to replicate it a little bit, and yeah, it works. So it was a nice goal.
Why was Tottenham? For you? Yes, for 5 years, 6 Premier League goals.
I don't know. I tried to score every single game. It seems to work a lot against Tottenham, but yeah, I think it's just a feeling that you get, and you want to enjoy it as much as you can.
Okay, well, brilliant from both of you. 2 goals each. The player of the match is Victor.
Deserved. There you are, my brother.
Thank you, brother.
Well done, guys.
Nice one.
Yeah, scoring goals is easy. Certainly much easier than holding a microphone or sitting in a studio, I would say. Look, at Eze with a really good performance and maybe a point to prove, having been in and out of the side since that hat-trick against Tottenham last time out. But Victor Gyokeres with a really important couple of goals in this one as well.
Not just the goals, I felt today. He really commanded that position. And what was smart, at no point did he go see Van der Ven. He knew where the weakness was in that Tottenham team. I'm gonna dominate. I'm gonna put on you, and it was from the minute one. He showed everything what we expect him to bring to this league. And yeah, a bit unlucky in this one. However, just the channel runs, which we see at times. But what I really like was just this finish, which he would do every day in training. Fantastic, which we can analyse shortly soon. But it was just the link play. He brought the best out of the other players around him as well, and that's what we want to see. That's what we expected to see coming into this league. But look, it's really important moment for him as well going into it, because of course now he's the top goal scorer behind Kai Havertz. Look at that there. So last 2 seasons, but look, massive signing, and it's one of those where you want to give him time, but if they want to win the league, he hasn't been fortunate to have that time. So for me, that was the best performance I've ever seen from him. Yeah,
and having not had a shot on goal in the game against Wolves, of his first 4 touches of the ball today, 2 of them were shots on goal. So he clearly came out with that kind of in it. He's a goal scorer. Of course, he came out with that in his mind, but there was a sharpness to him, Jamie.
Absolutely. Theo makes a great point. He kept pulling onto Paulina and just had... It was too strong for him. He bullied him. I don't want to be a killjoy, but it was almost... It's hard to assess because of how poor Tottenham were defensively. But a big day for him. The goal, you know, excellent. The touches, very pleased for him because he's had a lot of stick as well.
If you're watching on Sky Sports main event, you're heading off to the Genesis Invitation.
Well, he certainly has. He's loved those North London derbies this season. The Arsenal fan, hasn't he, with 5 goals in those 2. 1-1 at half-time then. Let's see how the second half unfolded. We spoke at length about Victor Gyokeres in a big match before the game. came up with a couple of answers today, didn't he?
Yeah, I feel this is his big performance of the season. It's taken a little bit of time coming. I mean, that's him into double figures in the Premier League now. I think this ball probably should be stopped, but what a first touch this is. Keeps it tight to his body, but allows it enough room to be able to swing his right foot. And don't just think he's hit that as hard as he could. That's placed, but with power as well. As I say, Tim, I suppose as a midfielder, you'd probably want to block that ball off into the centre-forward's feet.
Well, you saw Eze in the game at the Emirates. I mean, in that D area, that's where he scored all these goals. You cannot allow him to just take control of the ball there. He had all the space in the world. It's almost like the defenders went backwards once he takes his first touch. Take nothing away from Gyokeres. It was a fantastic finish. But you have to be disappointed with the defending there.
Yeah. Now, 6 minutes later, Adi, Moani and Tottenham thought they'd done it again. Any issue with this being ruled out?
I think so, yeah, because you can see Kolomani trying to, not trying, he literally pushed the defender out of the ball. So I think for me it's a big foul. You can see from here, and he actually used both hands. So for me, it's a big foul.
Tim?
Yeah, well, he buys it, Danny Gabriel, for me. He buys it. He makes sure that the referee can see it. Look at the exaggeration there. 7.5 technical merit from me. Total dive. But there is a push. I understand where... Listen, if they didn't rule it out, I'm sure they would have done when they VAR look at it.
Do you know what? You've got to do it, though, haven't you? I mean, we would all do it. If you get pushed like that, you've got to make the referee's mind up for him.
Absolutely.
There are two hands on him. It is probably a foul. But, yeah, of course, he exaggerates it too. But do you know what? Like a big, strong man and didn't go down, then he might not have got the foul. So that's just part of the game, I'm afraid.
Yeah. And then Eze again. I mean, what a season he's had. I mean, to get the hat-trick, not score since 91 days ago, and then come here on his recall and get two, Adi.
I think we spoke about it before the game. Obviously, coming into this type of game, he knows in the first leg he got an hat-trick, which is his first ever game in this North London derby. And we said it, when you come into this type of game and you know you have already a record of scoring against them, it's always easier, and your teammate will be buzzing for you. And I think today he already had it in mind that I can even score another hat-trick. And we are actually not happy with him coming off, because today I think if he's still on the pitch, he would definitely go his hat-trick. But fair enough for him. He's the third or the fourth top goal scorer playing in this derby after 2 games. It's beautiful. So I hope he will keep on going. He will keep on scoring in this beautiful derby. And for him to come back here again and show character, show personality, obviously, the last 2 months was not perfect for him. He was fighting to find himself, like what am I going to do? But coming into the North London derby, scoring 2 goals, giving the victory to Arsenal when they needed it the most, is beautiful.
And there you go. He's behind you in that list. He was trying to score a hat-trick in the same season against the same opponent. There's only one man who's ever done that in Premier League history. Have you any idea who that is, Adi? No, it's you. For Arsenal against Derby. Do you remember that?
That's true. Yeah.
I
did the same thing in Turkey also. So yeah, I'm
okay. I love you. We love many things about you. Modesty is the one of them.
Thank you.
And then Gyokeres again. The game was done, but you were impressed with this finish.
I did.
Too.
Listen, we spoke about before the game. This guy is one of the best finishers in the Premier League. He hits it hard. He hits it accurate. He chooses the right finish. It's the rest of his game that he just needs brushing up. But I tell you what, if he keeps getting 2 chances and banging in 2 goals like that, then, you can forgive him all of his misdemeanours. His strength here is very good. He keeps his man away from the ball. He keeps protecting it, and then just goes for a little bit of height as well. A lot of the time, the goalkeeper will slide, but their legs will scrape along the floor. You've just got to lift it a foot, maybe. He actually goes a little bit higher, which is fantastic. No chance for the goalkeeper. Beautiful finish, textbook stuff.
Yeah. And as you say, into double figures now as well. So, as I say, they're 5 points clear, but they've played a game more than Manchester City, of course. And as we all know, in April, they have to play each other. But what have they both got coming up, Manchester City and Arsenal? Because they both have big, significant wins this weekend. There we go. This is Leeds away next for City, Forest, West Ham, Chelsea before they then meet each other. Chelsea next, of course, for Arsenal. Brighton, Everton and Bournemouth. What are you thinking at the moment? Still advantage Arsenal, Eddie?
Not really. Obviously, Chelsea at home is going to be a tough one. It's another derby for them. It's a tough one. Chelsea coming, playing good. Obviously, losing points yesterday. So they will try and make life difficult for for Chelsea. But like if you look at whoever Arsenal are going to play in the next 5 games or 6 games or so, Chelsea, Everton, and when you look at Man City, they got Leeds, they got Nottingham Forest, West Ham. I'm going for Man City.
Right, OK. Can you see a scenario City being above Arsenal by the time they meet at the Etihad, Michael?
Maybe not, but I can see a scenario whereby if City beat them at the Etihad, they go above them, of course. But no, I think that Arsenal, with that 5 points, I know they've played one more game, but it's a nice little cushion. I think they'll be going into that game still leading, and they can go there knowing that a draw might be okay. They'll probably settle for it. Let's see what happens between now and then. But they've allowed Manchester City back into this title race. Today was really, really important that they just kept them at arm's length.
OK, the other side of the story is Spurs are 4 points above the drop zone. Here's today's captain, Mickey van der Ven.
Hugely disappointed. What did you make of the Tottenham performance?
I think Arsenal, to be honest, today overall was the better team. But first off, we're still in the game. It's 1-1 and everything can happen. And then 2 minutes after the second half, they scored straight away the 2-1. And then after that, it was really difficult.
Why did you think they were the better team today? Obviously, they're an opponent of huge quality, but was there any more you could have done?
But I think maybe sometimes in the press we could do a bit better. We pressed up quite high. Sometimes we tried to, but Arsenal, they came out of it sometimes, and then it's difficult to come back quick. And I think that's something we need to work on, obviously. But yeah, today they were just a better team, and I think they created way more than us.
It was Tottenham's heaviest home defeat in the league to Arsenal today since 1978. Did you see anything different? Any room for sort of optimism with this 4-point gap above the relegation zone?
No. Not on that performance today. I mean, how can you pull any positives out of that? I mean, it didn't go anywhere. They kept fighting, but they're not good enough. Let's face it. When they're playing an opposition like this, they're not staying up because they didn't win this game today. Thought it was an opportunity. They might have taken it late into the game, and it would be an edgy Arsenal, and you just never know. We've seen Wolves, who, like I said at the beginning of the show, one of the worst teams I've ever seen in Premier League history. If they're capable of getting points off them, then Tottenham would have been here today with a crowd behind them. But I saw no quality. I didn't see really much organisation. I didn't see a lot, to be perfectly honest. But they've got games coming up, Fulham away, Palace at home. I think they need 3 wins, Steve, and I think they're capable of getting 3 wins. So they'll be safe in the Premier League. But against opposition like that, it's just a mismatch.
That first win can't come quick enough.
It can't. They'll have better opportunities than they will have had tonight. Arsenal were a different class to them, weren't they? But I still think they'll just have enough.
OK. Michael, Adi, Tim, thank you very much indeed. This was always going to be significant. Spurs 4 points above the drop zone, but Arsenal were asked a big question at the top today, and they came up with an emphatic answer. Their lead is 5. Welcome back. So all square at 1-1. Premier League Live on the road here at the North London Derby, edition 199. Plenty to get through. So let's begin with Arsenal taking the lead, and we wondered why Eze had been recalled today, Michael.
Well, exactly. Big decision, wasn't it, from Mikel Arteta? We all debated it before the game, and there's the answer. It's a little bit of fortune, but he's positive, isn't he, Saka, on this right-hand side. The cross takes a little deflection. Eze takes a touch. It pops up. It's not an intentional touch, but it pops up, and he really finishes it well. Muani on the edge of the box. He lets Eze go. You can see he's marking him there. We'll highlight him in a moment, but that touch, it's not meant, but it just pops up nicely for him.
Yeah, Tim, from a Tottenham point of view there, Michael's mentioned Muani.
Yeah, you'd be disappointed. You know, they were holding on, weren't they, at that stage? I thought Arsenal started very well, and Tottenham needed to get better, but that was the goal. But they never went under. They kept going, showed a lot of aggression, trying to get back in the game, and it was not soon after that they managed to do that. But you know, you have to defend things. If you switch off for it against top-class opposition like Arsenal, you get punished.
So a big moment there for Eze, but 42 seconds after the restart, Adi, we mentioned Muani playing. We mentioned he played before Igor Tudor before, and he nipped in here from Declan Rice, didn't he?
Yeah, but you know, as a striker, you have to wait for one opportunity, and the opportunity showed in front of him. He took it quite well. It was a good goal. You know, they lost the ball. The pass was too strong. He got the ball here. The only thing he has in his mind is to finish. I think the finish was crazy because the last touch before the shooting was just incredible. It was, I take the ball forward and I shoot. So that was quite sharp from a striker like his caliber. Is good for him, for his confidence, and hopefully they can come back now and fight for for the match.
And from a midfielder's point of view, we don't see that too often from Declan Rice, Tim.
Collector's item, that one from Declan. You know, I expect he's very responsible, isn't he? He just got on with it. I noticed he just rounded the troops up after that. He said, look, we take this on the chin and we have to go again, and that's exactly what they have to do. Kolo Muani's a fantastic finish, but it's so uncharacteristic of Declan Rice.
It is. He does so well to snuff out the danger to start with, doesn't he? But then obviously takes that extra touch. I wonder whether Gabriel could have maybe changed his angle. I also wonder whether Raya in goal might be able to stick out a leg. The ball goes really close to him. I know the ball's hit with power. He might have even took him by surprise how early he hit it, but look how close this ball goes to Raya. I mean, if that was a David De Gea, he takes his leg away. If he sticks it out, he saves that.
Interesting. OK, we've got two finishers here because the captain, Bukayo Saka, got away from Mickey van der Ven. Could he have done any more here, or do we credit Vicario?
Yeah, I think Vicario does exceptionally well. I mean, he's been in a couple of times now, Saka. That long ball, even a goalkeeper kick earlier on, he got in. Unfortunately for him, he was on his right foot. Vicario came out and smothered it quite quickly. So I'd say good goalkeeping as opposed to a missed chance.
What do you think, Adi? What do you think from Saka here?
Yeah, but like I think the keeper was supposed to come out earlier. He was a little bit late. But in this kind of game, I think Bukayo Saka, with his quality, he can chip that ball with his right, and it will give the advantage for Arsenal. He didn't do it. It's going to make life difficult for Arsenal. If they have chances like this in this kind of game, with his caliber, he's not taking the chances. It will be a punishment for them at the end of the season.
How important was that response? Because all throughout the game, and now at half-time, this place feels different today,
Yeah,
too.
Dele Alli's just come on behind us and he's rearing the crowd up. We can hear him talking there, but I just feel it's really important for them to get back in the game. Now they need to take it deep. The longer they take this game, it's still 1-1. It's an opportunity, a real opportunity for them to take maximum points. But even a point is a fantastic result. All these fans want to destroy Arsenal's season, and even a point here will be going a long way towards that.
Should they have been a bit concerned, Tottenham, in that first 10 minutes, because Arsenal came flying out the trap?
Yeah, and then there was almost an unforced little break. It really helped Tottenham at that point. Just give them about 7 or 8 minutes just to calm down and get a few messages from the sideline. Arsenal will be delighted, I think. Overall, in that first half, Arsenal have been the dominant team. One mistake, and now Tottenham got back in it. And if it gives them the impetus, then who knows in this second half. I still think Arsenal are in control of this match.
OK.
Well, it's honours even. At half-time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Eze hasn't had a shot on target in the Premier League since he scored a hat-trick against Spurs in the return fixture at the Emirates. He has one now, Theo.
He does, and I was really pleased with him because there was a period when he was maybe floating away from the game and he had to get involved in some capacity, and he picks himself up in a good position where at one time when Basuma isn't marking him and he gets a bit of space. A bit fortunate it was a touch, of course, but look, when it happens for you, it happens for you. But I just wanted to single out Kolo Muani here. As soon as Tottenham have been doing one-on-one everywhere, as soon as Basuma loses his man, he's got to recognise now danger, Eze's danger. Recognise that, but as forwards, sometimes you do switch off. I get that. I've been in that position before, but look, you've got to give credit to the finish because didn't snatch at it. He was composed when he hasn't really been too confident at this moment in time. So look, he's just born to score against Tottenham this moment in time. But brilliant because it was a patch where Tottenham started to get back into the game slightly with that delay in the game. But look, I was very pleased with Eze getting that goal.
And Declan Rice knows that this is an Arsenal side with just 2 wins in their previous 7 in the league, that they have dropped points from winning positions, and so he gathers the players and tries to get them to concentrate and to focus.
Well, he's a leader,
then...
Kelly, that's what he's trying to do. But at this point, the game was so easy for Arsenal. They felt so comfortable. Declan Rice was easing around the midfield. And this is the sort of thing you do when you get comfortable. You start to try things maybe that you shouldn't in the wrong areas. And that is a vital mistake that he makes. He intercepts it brilliantly there. Tries almost that Iniesta skill. Bam, bam, gets it wrong. Kolo Muani does brilliantly. He was involved initially with the first touch. He wins it off him. Really good tackle. Good movement down the side here. Then he comes alive. He goes to press, which is what Tottenham have done pretty well. Good touches, gets into the box and hits that, gives the keeper no chance. And gets his side back into this game when they really had no right.
24 seconds after the restart.
Unbelievable, that turn of events, because as Arsenal have been so good, but there's also been something that I've admired about Tottenham, because we've seen Tottenham be so passive. They've had no energy at times this season, but today they've had that bit of dog about him, I would say, where they've got after this Arsenal side. Arsenal look very comfortable in areas, but Tottenham still had that danger where they've had a little bit of a threat going forward. and they're right in this game, and that manager will feel so pleased after that. Look at
Football's
that.
a bit of an understatement. When you look at that and you look at the fact that Tottenham had one shot on target, one shot inside the box, one touch in the Arsenal box, and that was the goal.
That's football, Kelly. That's how mad this game is. You know, it doesn't always, you know, having the possession doesn't always mean everything. But he'll be delighted. I think both managers will be. I think even Mikel Arteta will be thinking.
Well, I think he would have to cut on mistakes, because I think
Yeah.
that's the only way Arsenal are going to lose this game, because there's been a lot of mistakes. Of course, Declan Rice has done that, but before that, there were signs of what we spoke about before the game, out of character. Declan Rice did that then, he knew, hands up. But look, I think it's one of those, the managers, just let the players go in there, say their thing, because cut that out, they get a result. Because that's the only way I feel like Tottenham can get back into this.
Great feel to the game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really good.
great feel to the game and a great setup for this.
The dressing room. This is the Arsenal bench where the Arsenal staff will be sitting later on. They have had that big gap. Arsenal, of course, haven't. You referenced that astonishing result, really, at Molineux in the week. I mean, we've seen some surprise results this season in the Premier League, but was that the biggest of the lot for you?
They were in total control, weren't they? And their strength, really, goalkeeper, defence, set pieces, of course, this season. But you just never see Arsenal, when they get a lead, you never see them really, you know, fall into pieces like they did against Wolves. And as soon as Wolves scored the first goal, I mean, they got confidence. Arsenal started becoming shaky. The goal itself, the equalising goal, here it is in the last few minutes. I mean, it's a lack of communication between goalkeeper and Gabriel, centre-half. And you know, it drops into a dangerous area and all of a sudden you've got no time to get back into the game. 2-2, and it's definitely 2 drop points. You can't afford that, of course, at this stage of the season when you're trying to win your first league for a long, long time. Harsh words will have been said in the dressing room. I've seen a few players talking about it afterwards.
Team meeting, yeah.
Team meeting, etc. And of course, you know, once you lose momentum in a game, it can be very, very difficult. And if they give Tottenham any momentum today, new manager, crowd behind them, then they could be in trouble. So they've got to really start well today. That's the key for Arsenal today, is starting well.
Yeah, they've had a team meeting, but could they look at it as the perfect game to try and respond after that, Addy?
A perfect game is going to be too much for me to say, because obviously from now to the end of the season, every single game for Arsenal have to be a perfect game. Otherwise, they can't win the league anymore. Because when you have a team following you or running after you, like Manchester, with the experience they got, we saw even Manchester in a difficult moment, Haaland can play at the back, and I think the lack of experience also. Like, some players are great, footballistically, they are one of the best. Bukayo Saka, Eze, Martinelli, they have a lot of great talent. But when it comes to sometimes like the game against Wolverhampton, somebody to guys, we are getting there. We have to be serious. We have to be more motivated. We have to want the ball more. They don't have that, and that can be a key factor for the end of the season. But obviously today, you don't have to motivate them. They're playing against Tottenham, one of the biggest game of the season for both sides. So for me, team meeting or not, this game you have to have the energy from inside, for you to be able to perform today, because it's one of the biggest games in England. So I don't think they need a team meeting for this kind of game. They don't need anything. But if they bottle it today, I think they can forget about the title.
And in terms of today and the rest of the season, is this the ultimate test of mentality from this situation now?
I think so. I think because the run that they're on, they're a sticky patch. It's not just against Wolves. They've been dropping points previously and dropping points from winning positions as well.
Yeah.
Everybody already...
7 points in the last 5 games.
Yeah.
They've dropped from winning positions.
Which is, it's not something you associate with this team. Everybody will look at the game against Manchester City and say this could be the most pivotal game out of the lot. But this now, North London derby, bouncing back from disappointment, is a key attribute. They need to get back going again. It wasn't just about conceding the goals against Wolves. It was about the way they played. They hardly kept the ball. They couldn't string 2 passes together in that second half. So I think they've got to get that confidence back, get playing well again. And if they put in a good performance and win the North London derby in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, then all of a sudden I think all the past problems of recent weeks will be out their heads again, and they can go on and have a real good run into the end.
Do you think both City and Arsenal are capable of winning runs from now on, or do you think there's going to be a lot of twists and turns?
I think if you ask me that question, I will go on one side, which will be Manchester. Because if you ask me who do I think will win the rest of their game, that's what I think. That's my own opinion. And I can get it all wrong. And I think it's Man City. Obviously, Arsenal, we know when it comes to February, March, April, they always struggle. They can draw against anyone tomorrow, and they can win against anyone. But when it comes to Manchester, with their manager, with some players they have with their experience that can help them. We saw a couple of years ago where they win all their maybe 15 last games to be champions. So for me, if you ask me that question, I think Man City have an advantage on top of Arsenal. But as Michael just said now, if they win today, if Arsenal win today, it can be a momentum. Like it can be like, okay, guys, we can do it. If you're able to beat Tottenham, even in difficulty, this means we have to rely on what we have done today and move forward. And for them to win, I think they are 10, 11 games to be champion. They can never ask for better, because if you ask any Arsenal fan to sign at the beginning of the season, if they will be in this position today, I think they will tell you no. But today they're in a position where they have 11 games to be champion. If they win all the 11 games, they can be champion. It's not going to be easy, but they have to find a way. They have to find a magic whatever to make it happen.
They really don't want to get into a ding-dong with Manchester City. They don't want to be level on points with 8 games to go, because Manchester City have been there, seen it, done it for many
and won their last 5 in a row.
And won their last 5. They've got the experience, exactly. So they will just be hoping that they can win to keep that cushion. They need to keep that points cushion, because as soon as Manchester City get within a nose of them, you start thinking the title's starting to tilt towards Manchester.
And remember also, if you have like a whole team and only 1 or 2 players has won the league before, it's difficult for the experience, because they don't know what it takes to be champion. And you can see against Newcastle, Haaland coming back in the defense, because he know what it takes to be champion. He know now that the team need him offensively, defensively, he have to do the job. That's what he's doing. So I think, as he said, if they come on level point, we can literally forget about the league for Arsenal.